In today's video we'll do the counterpart of the MTNTOPCN front bumper. This is the rear bumper. The rear bumper is made of aluminum, and you can see there is the logo MTNTOPCN. They put it on. It's made of aluminum, it's black powder coated, and of course there are some installation hardware with it. But first of all, you can see aluminum. It has thick shackles. They are on the other side, so I guess they should be mounted to the car somewhere. It has a hitch outlet below here, so hopefully my hitch will work. It has some outlets for the parking sensors if you have some, or we'll plug them. And when you look at this side, so that's something you might be expert, I'm not. You can just see that's where it's welded. I felt like the other one looked better, especially when I look here. It's a piece. Do not know why there's a piece falling off, but it's not good. Not as good and sharp edges. Here you can see it, it's not as good, I feel like, in the corners made as the other one. I feel like that's more like a quick job they did, which is a little bummer. And what's funny, that it was before the MTNTOP, or actually, no, it's not MTNTOP, it's black. It's Black Mountain. They relabeled it. So we did get ring shackles, installation hardware, and that's an LED light and sensors, or the plugs for the sensors. It should come with a license plate holder. And a license plate holder, but... By the way, welcome back to the channel. Toby's Rescues with Toby. Reading through the manual, or the 2-page instructions I got, should be straightforward. There's nothing about how to disassemble the old one, obviously, but we'll do that now. There are videos, tons of videos out there how to do that actually, how to take off the old rear bumper. And that's something you should look into. It's fairly simple, I feel like, and it's also plastic, so it's something which should be quick. Alright, first thing you need to do, both sides it's hard to see, but this piece is plastic. There's 3 screws, 7mm I believe. Oh, sorry, 7mm socket. Take this piece off, then you have access to the bracket. Alright, next you can see, here we have the bracket. Loosen it at the frame, this one, and also up here, which you cannot see. The 4 bolts in total. Take off those ones at least. Ideally both, I think. Just for, it's easier to pull it back and off. I'll do that on both sides. Take off the bolts, so you can see it. There is also, here, connector, which you have to disconnect. I disconnected already, 2 wires. That's where we connect the license plate, light later black for negative, I guess. I'll continue. Already wobbly, but it will be easier to take out those bolts here. Yep, it will be easier. I don't know, I feel like I lied to you, but there were 2 extra bolts back here, so I had to take them off and then can just pop it out. The bolts I didn't think about were those ones. Those are the brackets. This side still on it. I took it off on the one side just to slide out easier. Maybe you didn't need to, but here it is, the plastic bumper. You have to open the door, by the way, to take it off. I'll clean everything and take those ones off, the side ones, as well as the hook. For the passenger side, which is this side, there's a specific mounting plate which we have to slide in. And then from the bottom we can use the new mounting hardware, which you can see whoop, down there already. Big bolts. I think it's about 7 or 8. Alright, having an issue with this type of hitch because it's too wide for this. So you see it here already. So need to take it off a little bit and cut it. You might need a universal joint to get here, and it's either 16 or 18mm nut. But yeah, tricky. 4 on each side. And here's the hitch, and you see what we cut off. Alrighty, so it's installed, but I have to show you we had to trim something off, which I was not a big fan of because of this plate did not fit. So we had to trim it off to cut, because it's actually 12 something wide, this cutoff, but this hitch needs 13, so this was not a good fit. Additionally, those bolts were already rusting. Also, on this side, it's harder to get this one in because it's on an angle, because the welding is not as good here in the corner, up here, versus here it's way better. So when you look at it already, it's rubbing off, which is already bothering me. On top, there's a license plate holder. There are no screws with it, so I have to make my own or get my own screws. Also, there's no hole, as it calls out in the instruction here, which insert the license plate, so I have to drill a hole in this as well. Phew, there we are. We have a little light. I had to drill a hole in aluminum again, but there's light. It's not the best, it sticks out. Alright, it is installed. I'll show you a few things which didn't work out as planned and were more complex than I thought it would be. First of all, here you can see this is the little screw on for the LED. That was not there. I had to screw in a hole with a 5/16 drill bit. Luckily it's aluminum, so it was fairly simple. But to get to this on the other side, you have to make sure that it's in a spot where you can reach it by hand. My hand got almost not in. The other thing you have to pay attention to is this wire. So you can see, here, this one. It's almost long enough, and I was able to connect it, 2 wires, black to black, and then the white something to red. Those are aftermarket Rhino shackles, but you can see when they do rub here to this one, which is not nice. So here's the weld is not as good. On the other side, it's way better, as you see. There's more space here. So that is one side here. So we had to cut this. You still have to spray it with some paint, because otherwise it will rust really quick. But we had to cut this because this hitch is over 13-inch wide, or almost 13-inch wide. So this part here and this outlet here, that's where it stops, was only 12-inch and something, 12-inch 7 something. It's hard to reach those bolts ever again. Actually, those are the nuts. So in case I have to take it off, what I have to do, there are some outlets here for the sensor. One thing to keep in mind, and therefore I need to find a better tool. So I didn't talk about it, but the bolts which go in here, there are 2, right? One, you have easy access, and you can see here. Another one is up there, and the angle is crucial. It's very difficult to get, but those are the points you should really pay attention of. Tighten them down to spec, to 80 foot-pound, because this shackle, that's where you get towed. So you want to have this really tight, really good. Anyways, let me give you a little brief tour from the side again, so you have an idea what it looks like. This is the default wheel, by the way. Still space a bit. But you can see there's minimal gap. So as soon as you open this, it looks like it's touching, but it's not, luckily, but it's so little gap between. I wish this would be a little bit more. This is what we need. There's this rubber grommet around. You see already a dead blow hammer next to it. So there's this rubber grommet here, and you need to make it fit in here. But you can see it's not perfect fit. So then putting in this cap, and there we are. So the installation was more difficult than I expected. I had to use a wire wheel to cut aluminum, basically to make the hitch receiver fit, which was something I did not expect at all. And you saw the tight gaps. Yeah, it's definitely on the tighter side, it works. And to be honest, I took it out already. I took it into the dirt. I didn't record this at all, but I really enjoyed it. It was doing a great job. It looks good. So far it's holding in, even though with those welds. At the moment, not too worried about it. It feels good. So I hope that it will last a long time. The only thing, you know, with the license plate holder is okay. Bolting it on is great, as long as you can tighten it to spec. Very important. But it's not all about looks and that it's flexible. And I think with this one, definitely it does the job great for any type of rock crawling you want to do or want to go outdoors. This one is way better, in my opinion, than the plastic bumper. So, but it's always you know, up to your taste, what you like, how the look and feel you will achieve with your build. So I hope this helps you and gives you an idea how this bumper looks and works and what you have to do in case you have a similar setup. Let me know what you think about this bumper in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Tschüss!